back to the YouTube channel of Pro Enzo Vids, and this is my round 3 NRL tips for this week. Look, I'll tell you what, there's heaps of great games this week. There's a lot of games that can go either way. There's about 2 or 3 rivalries that have been played this week here in round 3, so that makes the whole round a bit more exciting, I guess, with the rivalries added in. And they're just some games in general that can go either way. Like, you can legit flip a coin, and then you get that result. And it's one of those. It's just one of those weeks really where it's so tough to tip. So I like to say, first and foremost, good luck to everyone with their tips this week, because it's not going to be easy. I'll tell you that much. It's not going to be easy tipping this week, because there's a lot of things that can go either way with who's playing and what. So yeah, but it should be a good week though. It's multicultural round, so I guess it's a very important round as well at the same time. So yeah, should be good. But before I start, make sure you do like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and subscribe if you're new, because I do appreciate the new subs I've been getting recently. My channel is going really well, so if you're new watching the channel right now and haven't subscribed yet, I would appreciate if you can do so. That would be my recommendation if you enjoy the video. But yeah, anyway, time to get into my tips. So the first game is Dragons and the Sharks. So go through the Dragons side first. So Andrew McCulloch's obviously injured his elbow last week, so he'll miss the game. And replacing him at hooker will be Moses Mbai, who starts at hooker in his place. And Jack DeBell moves to the bench, and Tarek Sim starts at lock yet again. And the other changes are that with George Burgess being dropped to reserve grade because of his situation that we must know is in the moment, Jack Kozeski and Jackson Ford join the bench for the Dragons, so that's the only changes there. As for the Cronulla now, Matty Cavallo starts in the wing for Ronaldo Mulatalo, who will be out with a concussion, and Siosiva Talaka will start in the back row instead of Teague Wilton, who's suspended. So and Brandon Trindle joins the bench as well for the Sharks. In this game, I will tip Cronulla to win. I think there's a chance Dragons can win, because Dragons obviously back at Wollongong, back in front of their home fans, so it gives them a real advantage when you think about it. But I think Sharks will take a lot of confidence out of the win last week against the Eels, and I think they'll back it up. So I'm going to go Sharks by about 6 points, 1-6. They'll win by, I reckon. Now onto the Friday fixtures. The first game of 2, it is the Tigers versus the Warriors at Campbelltown Stadium. On Friday, this is a 6 p.m. game. Now, just a fun fact, in case you don't know, the Warriors haven't won at Campbelltown Stadium since 2007, so that's 15 years ago. So, that's obviously something they want to break, the hoodoo. But, hoodoos are supposed to break eventually, so can they do it this Friday? I have to wait and see. But, yeah, I thought I'd just throw that out quickly in case you didn't know. But I'm going for the Tigers team quickly. So, James Tarmo returns from suspension, starts in the front row, and Alex Twal goes to the bench. Luke Garner starts in the back row with Kamal Tulagi out because of a concussion. Jacob Little returns from injury to hooker, and Jake Simpkin goes to the bench, and Alex Sayafaf is dropped to reserves, and McCulley's also dropped to the reserve as well. Look, Jackson Hastings has been named at 5'8", but that's because he's challenging his suspension, and I think he will miss games still despite that. So I think Jock Manning will start in the halves, probably from reserves. As for the Warriors team, Ash Taylor's been injured, has had a hip complaint. He's had an injury, so that's why Cody Nicarima starts at halfback this week. And Fanua Blake's good to go despite a little injury with his hand. In this game, it's very tough to pick. I was gonna flip a coin. I was actually gonna get a coin and flip it, but forget it. I got my tip in my head already. But yes, it's really tough to get a read on, isn't it? But in this game, I will tip the Warriors to win. I think the Warriors can get the win here on Friday. I think they can get the job done. I think Tigers have a lot of drama going on. And I think Warriors have looked better than what the Tigers have been, despite losing both their games to start the season. So I think Warriors can get the win. I was originally thinking Tigers, but then I was like, nah, look, I think Warriors can do it. I think they can do it. So I'll tip Warriors to win by about 4 points at best. Now, it's probably the biggest game of the round, or it could be one of the biggest games of the round. It's obviously the biggest rivalry in the game, but is it the biggest game of the round? Is it going to be the best one? We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Rabbitohs versus Roosters, the fierce rivalry that's been going on for many years now. This will be a great game. Looking forward to it. A lot of storylines you can make out of it. Manu versus Mitchell. Just both of these teams in general. There's so much you can talk about leading up to this match, but it'd be a great game for sure. Going for the Rabbitohs team first. Tane Milne has been named in the centres, with Jackson Pulo going out to the wing, and Murray to start this time, and Havili goes back to the bench. For the Roosters, Angus Crichton has moved from the back row to the bench, and Nat Butcher starts in the team, and Connor Watson starts a hooker, and Drew Hutchison has been named on the bench again, and Tupanua's out. That's why I think that's why I think Butcher and what's his name is starting. I don't know. Tupinua is still named to play, but yeah, he may not play though because of his concussion. But yeah, go through my tip now. So this is the interesting part of my tip. Yeah, because when it's a rivalry game, you expect it to be quite close, and I think it will be. But in this case, I will tip South to unfortunately lose to the Roosters. I mean, I was considering South at 1 point, but I was like, nah, Roosters should get the win, I think. So Roosters win by about 6 points, I think at best. It will be a tight game, and I think, yeah, they'll be a bit too good for the South in the end, I think. So Roosters win by 6. Kicking off Super Saturday, it's the first game of 3. It is the Panthers versus the Knights at Bathurst. Both teams are undefeated, and I think this will be a very good game. I really do think this is going to be a great game. I never really thought that at the start of the year, but with how Knights are going and everything, it will be a very good game for sure. So, looking forward to it. So, going for the Panthers team first. They've got a couple outs, actually. So, yeah, in the reserves, though, Nathan Cleary's named in jersey 24 in the reserves, but I doubt he'll play. But he's obviously an indication he's going to be back soon. Brian To'o's out with injury, so that's why Taylor May starts on the wing. And Jason Fisher-Harris had a shoulder injury, but he's been named to play, though. But we'll see how he goes during the week at training. As for Knights, they get a big boost with Callum Ponga coming back. So having Ponga coming back really helps a lot. And they got Saifiti's back as well. And yeah, that's very big, actually. So that's some good ins there for Newcastle. And it's very tempting to tip them, actually. But yeah, in this game, yeah, it's tough. I mean, I want to tip Newcastle, actually. You know what? I am. I'm going to tip Newcastle for an upset. I think Knights can get the upset here. I think because Panthers have so much out, it's going to hurt them quite a bit. And Knights are in good form, and they have Ponga back and Saifiti back. It's big for the team, and I think they're going to win. I think Knights are going to win by 1 point. You know what? I'm going to call it Jake Clifford field goal. That's what I'm going to call it as. So I think Panthers are going to unfortunately get their first defeat of the season and lose 17 points to 16. Knights win 1 point field goal for Clifford. On to the second game now. It is a big one. It is Storm versus Parramatta at AAMI Park in Melbourne. Obviously, last year we saw Eels beat Parramatta twice, actually, which is very surprising. Can they do it for a third time now? Go 3 straight wins, being Melbourne, with wait and see. But yeah, Melbourne versus Eels should be a good one. Going through the Storm team. So yeah, it's pretty much the same 17 as last week. There's no real changes there. But I did hear something before that Harry Grant is going to miss this game because of COVID, so he'll be ruled out apparently. So I imagine Tyron Wishart will start a hooker, but I don't know who will join the bench. So yeah, that's a big blow for Melbourne if that's the case, if Harry Grant's out. But other than that, no changes. For Parramatta, Nathan Brown returns to the Eels and starts at lock, and Oregon Kafusi goes to the bench. Wairemu Gray comes onto the bench as well and replaces Jake Arthur. So that's the only changes there for Parramatta. In this game, though, I think Storm will be too good. They always win at Melbourne. They obviously are in good form. They find ways to win, whether they're off or on. They always find a way to win Melbourne, and I think they'll get the win on Saturday. So Storms win by about 14 points, I reckon. Now, the last game of Super Saturday, it is the Raiders versus the Gold Coast Titans at GIO Stadium in Canberra. So going for the Raiders team, Nick Kotrick is back with Jordan Rapana being both back from injuries and suspensions, and they replace James Schillier and Sebastian Chris in the back line. So good for Canberra there, getting those two guys back this week, and as well as Brad Schneider, who missed last week's game because of COVID. He'll be back this week starting at halfback, and Matt Frawley goes to the bench, and Adrian Trevelyan drops to reserves. As for the Titans have no changes after winning against the Warriors in round 2. Right, my tip for this game. Look, it's hard to trust both sides. Both sides can be hot and they can be cold the next week, But I think back at home, I will tip Canberra back at home. They're usually pretty good at GIO Stadium, and I think they will definitely turn up and definitely will want to make amends to their performance against the Cowboys last week, and I think they'll be a lot better for it. So I'll tip Canberra to win by about 10 points. I think they'll go pretty well this week, especially having Kotrick back and Rapana, some experience back. So I think Canberra will be a bit too good. Now on to the Sunday. It is a very good Sunday, I think. It starts with a massive rivalry game. But, it's more of a Friday, Thursday night game, Broncos and Cowboys, but they're taking it to a Sunday, which hasn't happened in a very long time. So, that should be pretty good, I think. Hopefully the conditions are nice and sunny up in Suncorp, so it gives that real footy vibe of these two teams playing. It's going to be good, so I'm looking forward to it. Broncos, Cowboys should be excellent, I think. So going for the Broncos team, The Broncos actually kept the same team as last week when they beat the Bulldogs, so no changes there. As for the Cowboys, Ruben Cotter returns for Mitchell Dunn, who has done an ACL injury unfortunately this year, so he'll be gone for the 2022 because in the ACL, Mitch Dunn. So and yeah, Jermaine Brown's been named in the reserves after getting an injury in round 1, so he might make it. He has a chance of playing maybe, but we'll see. But going through my tip now, who I'm backing, I think I'll back the Broncos to win, but really there's nothing in it. You know, I'm only backing Broncos because that's Suncorp, but I think because, you know, the way they've been playing pretty well, and I think they'll keep the same momentum up. But I wouldn't sleep on Cowboys. You know, I think Cowboys were very good against the Raiders. No one gave them the chance against Canberra as well, so they could definitely surprise and get another win here against Brisbane. It's a 50-50 game, but I will back Broncos because it's at home, so should be a good game either way, but I'm looking forward to it. But I think Broncos to win by about 2. Very close game. Now, the last game of round 3, it is my team, the Sea Eagles, up against the Bulldogs. A must-win game for my boys. If we don't win, then I'm going to be very disappointed, and I'm going to claim that they're going to struggle the whole year, I think, if they don't beat the Bulldogs, because, you know, we're back at home, playing in front of a new centre of excellence that we've got now. So if we don't win this, then, yeah, it's embarrassing pretty much. So going for the Manly team first, it's the same 17 as last week, the one we lost against the Roosters against. So unfortunately, no changes there. But, you know, you've got some idiots out there calling for Saab or Harper to be dropped. I mean, I can understand a Harper, but, you know, just got to give them time, I guess. But saying Saab will get dropped, that's just stupid in my opinion. So, yeah, I wouldn't listen to people like them who say that. Then for the Bulldogs, they've got no changes as well after their loss to the Broncos. So, yeah, you know, it's really an interesting game, but I think we should win. I think Manly should get the win here. They surely should this week. I think they can do it. I will tip us to win by about 12 points. I'm not confident we'll win 13 plus because I think Dogs have a better defensive sort of mentality now than what they did the past couple of years. So I think Manly to win by about 12 points. And yeah, that's my round 3 tips for 2022. So thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll catch you all the very next one. Thanks for watching.